Good morning, everyone. Today's session, we are going to elaborate a neuropsycho malady known as dyslexia. Dyslexia or learning disability. You must have noticed, you must have experienced as a teacher or as an elder sibling that some people, some children, I should say, some children in the class are fast learners. Second are little slower learners, and the third one are totally dim, totally nitwit. They cannot learn anything at all. Edward Bono has also described that condition in three categories, three characteristics: alpha mind students, beta mind students, and theta mind students. Alpha mind is the fastest student. One time they learn, they imbibe every single thing and store it into their memory bank. Alpha mind. Beta mind are little slower, but still they are anchored. Still they remember every single thing, but they have to read twice. Theta mind are the students, they don't have any kind of ability to learn. They cannot remember anything, they cannot imbibe anything, they cannot decipher anything, they cannot decode anything. Simply they don't remember anything. They try, but they just cannot succeed. These kinds of people, the third characteristic, the third category of students are known as dyslexic. Dyslexia is a malady in which nothing else happens. No fever, no sneezing, no sniffling, no runny nose, no COVID, no AIDS, no cancer, nothing. It's not life-threatening malady, but it is neurological malady. All the learning is actually done with our neurological capacity. Stephen Hawking was totally paralyzed, neck down, but he was one of the best scientists of 21st century. One of the best scientists of 21st century. Brain, you need brain, not brown, no muscle. You need brain to learn, and in dyslexia, our brain is damaged. So, today we are going to discuss about dyslexia, how it occurs, remedy or no remedy, is there any kind of panacea, curative drug or palliative drug, what kind of precautions we should take, what to do with our children, what not to do with our children. Usually the onset or inception of dyslexia transpires in infancy, childhood, even in the womb, when baby is in the form of fetus. At that time, in the fetus, as soon as the brain is developed, something is lacking, something is missing, something is lagging. And kind of glitch occurs in the womb. And if not, then in succeeding years, something goes wrong. And dyslexia takes place. So 4 points I have created to elaborate. And we are going to elucidate all 4 points one by one at a time. Number one is genetic disorder or brain injury causes dyslexia. Our parents, grandparents, in our ancestors, anyone who had or have dyslexia, they can pass it on. They can pass it on to their progeny in posterity. And the children can also suffer from dyslexia. If not genetic or inherited, then it's a brain injury. Child might have fallen down, must have suffered concoction in his brain or her brain, must have been head must have been banged against some very hard things. Damage may not be detected initially, but gradually the damage surfaces and causes dyslexia. So it is particularly important, particularly vital and pivotal that all the parents must take care of their babies, infants, toddlers. They must not fall. Don't beat them on the head. Don't let any kind of damage or injury come to their brains. They will come to their heads. Number two, dyslexic cannot learn to read, write, recognize orthography, spellings, charts, etc. They cannot remember the spelling. They cannot make the spelling. They cannot construct the sentence. They cannot understand the chart, let alone mathematics or algebra or geometry. These are very complex subjects they just cannot focus on. Language. They cannot actually remember the connotation of the word. They cannot remember the intonation of the word. They cannot remember the vocabulary or any spelling of any vocab. They cannot understand. They cannot remember. They cannot retain in their brain, no matter how hard they try. We don't learn every single thing from teachers. Teacher can teach only 1 or 2% of the things. Rest of the thing we learn by ourselves. That is why Noam Chomsky, the polymath of the world, has said, learning is innate. Learning is innate. Nobody has taught us our mother tongue, not even our mother or father. But we listen, our parents, our siblings, our relatives, people in our ambience, we listen to them. And 3 years later in our life, just 3 years it takes, and we open our mouth and start speaking the language of our native tongue. Nobody taught us. First 3 years, nobody taught us anything. Nobody taught us orthography, 44 grammars, 44 tenses, nothing. All the things the way we expose ourselves in this society, we learn. We don't go to learn how to drive two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Every single thing is learned by ourselves. So learning is innate, according to Dr. Noam Chomsky. But here, these dyslexic kids who suffer from dyslexia do not have that kind of ability, capability, or viability to grasp every single thing. Grasp it. There are 5 kinds of knowledges. Declarative knowledge, only the knowledge is that we go to our alma mater, our college, our university to learn. But 4 other kinds, procedural knowledge, innate, heuristic knowledge, innate, meta-knowledge, innate, and empirical knowledge, innate. What does it mean? It translates into the simple language that 20% of knowledge hails from colleges and university. 80% of knowledge, 4 different kinds of knowledges, hail from ambience in our family, in our society, in our nation, in our ambience. But if our brain is sharp like a bullet, if we suffer from the dyslexia, then forget about learning anything at all. None of the 5 kinds of knowledge can be imbibed. None. 4th point is, parents and the pedagogue must be forbearant as child is sick. Child is sick, he is not retarded or discarded. Biggest problem of the malady is why we suffer from AIDS, why we suffer from COVID, cancer, diabetes, because we don't have understanding of them. We don't have understanding. So parents and the pedagogue, they don't understand dyslexia, and it is fair to say, it is not exaggeration, 99% of the parents and the pedagogue in India don't know what is dyslexia. They have no clue. They don't have any kind of inkling about the disease. So when they have any kind of dyslexic kid in their class, you know what they do? They beat him up. They think he is retarded. He is dementiac. Parents also think that he is dull kid, dim-wit kid. He doesn't have any kind of motivation to education. No, those are not the reasons. You are actually punishing the kids for no reason at all. Like we have a saying in Gujarati language, પાડાના વાકે પખાલીને દામ. પખાલીને દામ આપીએ આપણે, પાડાનું આવ્યું એટલે પખાલીને પકડો. No. Child is suffering from the dyslexia. He needs parental help. He needs pedagogical sympathy, forbearance, patience. Instead, what we do? We beat him up. We do all sorts of, also nasty things to kids. We use all kinds of nasty words. We make his life miserable. On one hand, he is sick. He doesn't understand what is happening to him. Why he cannot learn when other students can learn with a masterful ease, and he cannot learn. We are not sympathetic. We are not patient with him, but on the contrary, we are actually committing tyranny, committing oppression on the kid. No, don't do that. Parents and pedagogues both should realize that kid is sick. That is why he cannot learn. You can beat up blind kid as much as you want. He is not going to see. Nothing he's going to see because he's blind. Beating him or punishing him or penalizing him, giving him a pep talk or rebuking him or scolding him, insulting him, using all kinds of vituperatives and profanities, he is not going to learn because his brain is damaged. Fourth is, improvement can hail with time, patience, and understanding. This child is going to learn eventually. He is a slow child. He is learning at the snail pace. Nevertheless, he learns. But if the parents and the pedagogue know that this child is suffering from dyslexia, then they are going to be his support system. They're going to support him. They're going to persuade him, counsel him. They are going to provide all kinds of emotional needs. Child will learn. They say that after 16, 17, improvement is always witnessed. So he's going to show some improvement after 16 or 17. But until then, parents and the pedagogue both have to let him study at his own pace. Don't push him. Don't pull him. Make him comfortable with education. Keep telling him, counseling him that you are sick. You are suffering from a malady known as dyslexia. So you are not going to be running as fast as other students are running in the track of education. You slow down. You're going to complete your 10th at the age of 16, 17. Your 12th at the age of 20. After that, you're going to finish graduation and post-graduation, but it will be little belated, couple of years later. That is what dyslexic kid needs. But only the problem is, the dyslexic kid does not get sympathy, counseling, a kind of compassion, love and affection, understanding from neither parents nor pedagogues. Hence, he or she suffers a lot. So these are the 4 points about dyslexia, learning disability. It is invented by 19th century, invented by Dr. Berlin, B-R-L-I-N, Berlin, Adolf Berlin, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'm going to clarify tomorrow. But 99.9% it was Adolf Berlin who has actually coined this dyslexia terminology, identified the disease, and he has done lots of study on that. There is no any kind of melody. Don't load your kid with almonds and cashews and no. Almonds and cashews don't actually fortify your brain. Your brain fortification comes only from the hard work, reading, long reading, brain exercise. So that's all the time we have today. See you again next time. Until then, take care of your good health. Take particular care of your good health. And remember, COVID can kill. God bless all of us. Bye.